you've got 8 to 10 jobs as a CMO, and your team's trying to execute on some of that strategy and vision as well. I think knowing what you need to get done, being disciplined enough to get that work done efficiently, but also be open to new ideas, right? And some of those ideas, some of those new things are pivots, right? You start the year with a plan. Here's what we're going to go do. Some of it works, some of it doesn't. You can't just stick with the plan if it's suboptimal. So you make pivots, but then new ideas come in. You weren't so clairvoyant at the beginning of the year. You knew everything that was going to happen. So how do you lead and then manage and encourage a team when things are always kind of changing and you kind of need to adapt to that over time?
Yeah. We often joke that we all should have that Friends shirt with the couch pivot. Um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like, I feel like, at least in the PE world, and especially now in marketing, we all should be wearing that shirt on the daily. I'm a big fan of long range planning. And reason why I start with that is because you have to have a plan with the end in mind. And the pivots and the priorities may change. The input of these things may change. What you did last month may not work again this month.
Right.
It happens a lot. And so how do you pivot from there? But directionally, you should never, right, steer away from your North Star. And if you find yourself departing from that path, boy, that's an immediate conversation with your executive leadership team, your CEO and your board to course correct, to validate. And that's where I think folks can maybe get stuck or get caught up in the pivot, meaning constantly changing what feels like direction. But when in reality, it's more about course correct to the same North Star that the rest of your team is also running towards.
Context on that is important because if people don't understand the context of why you're making this pivot, they're like, this is a rudderless ship, right? Like we don't know where we're going and we're just making things up and trying to find a new way of doing it. Every one of your employees has an enormous bowl, right? And your job is to fill that bowl with information and context. And if you don't provide that, if you don't over communicate, they're going to fill that bowl on their own. And
That's
you may
right.
or may not like what they put in it and what they put in other people's bowls as well. So sometimes the truth is not always a fun story to tell, but if the truth is the truth, I think the people you want in the boat with you is like they're gonna appreciate the openness. They're gonna
Right.
appreciate that, yeah, things do change, and let's just
Yeah.
start rowing in the same direction.
Yeah. I know it's cheesy, but it's true. If people understand the why behind it, they will move along with you
Yeah.
in the same direction for sure.